report.
Yeah, let's drive the conversation. You heard the Senate President and Senator Sani, the man who spoke on the floor of the Senate here, who is not happy with the report from the President saying the content of the President letter is not true, is Senator Sani over there, and he now joins us from our Abuja studio. Many thanks for joining us, Senator Sani, representing Kaduna State. You have said that the President fights corruption in other sectors like the judiciary with insecticide and fights corruption in his own government with deodorant. It looks like a direct indictment on the government and a president who says the spine of his administration's activity is going to be anti-corruption war. Are you saying the president has not been sincere in his anti-corruption war?
Well, if you can recall, last year the Senate on its plenary set up a committee ad hoc, which I chaired, and we had a clear mandate to investigate how funds pumped in the name of humanitarian crisis in the Northeast were allegedly diverted, channeled to different sources other than the one which they were meant to be on paper. And we did a very thorough job. And the first thing we did was to travel to the northeastern states to physically inspect the projects that were said to have been carried out on paper. And we conversed with stakeholders, including local officials, traditional rulers, and the governments of those states. And then we came back and issued an invitation to companies and public officials, all mentioned in that motion that led to the committee. And we invited the SGF, and he sent us a secretary of the committee, which he chaired, and that committee was called PINE, P-I-N-E, Presidential Initiative of the Northeast. And we accepted the secretary that he sent, and then we put him under oath, and he spoke eloquently. He came in with tons of documents, which we went through, and we came out with our report, and that report clearly indicted public officials, including the person that was cleared by the president, in the very sense that funds that are supposed to be used for humanitarian purposes were issued as contract for people in position of power, their friends and their cronies, and funds were diverted. And now, we have gotten the report letter from the president, which I forwarded in its entirety. The issues that were raised in that letter, which sort of cleansed the person of the SGF, was that, first of all, they said that letter, that report was an interim one, signed by 3 out of 9 senators. And unfortunately for them, they perhaps forgot that that was read publicly in the Senate. There were 7 senators that signed. There were 10 of us. And also the letter that came from Mr. President omitted my name as the chair of that committee. It omitted my name as a member of that committee. And also that letter also stated very clearly that we didn't give the SGF a fair hearing and he wasn't invited. But I raised the letter we received from the permanent secretary in the office of the SGF, attesting to the fact that they have acknowledged our letter and they have sent a representative. I also raised the committee report, which was eminently signed by senators. So as for me, that was why I came with the conclusion that when corruption involves the members of National Assembly and the larger Nigerian society, it is treated with insecticides, and when it comes to elements within the closed cycle of power, it was treated with a body spray or deodorant, and that was the whole submission of mine. And what we said very clearly was that that letter did not in any way address the substance of the interim report. It has not said, it has confirmed whether true over 200 million naira was used to cut the grass in the Northeast. It has also not disputed that what we said, that over 50 million naira in the name of, was donated in the name of conferences. It has also not said anything about the companies and the funds that were lodged into different accounts. All it was harping on is on the issue of procedures of the Senate, which was even done very ignorantly.
Senator Sani, if I may quickly butt in here,
9 people and you have 3.
Just a quick one. If I may quickly butt in here on some of the issues that you raised, one we wonder why the Senate committee in the first place, for example, did any person, any official of Roller Vision invited to face the Senate panel, even if you said that the SGF sent a representative, and that's one of the concerns raised in the letter sent by the president.
Well, if we invited you and then you sent someone to us and said that person is competent enough to speak on behalf of you, and you believe he is armed with the documents to defend you and to present it before us, we simply admit you, and that is what happened. And if you can recall back, there was similar committees set up by House of Reps. An invitation was extended to the same person, and he refused to come. So as far as I'm concerned, we stand by the integrity of that report, and the president's letter did not in any way faulted our issues which we raised in our report. And all we want to know is for the letter to say that it was 1 naira that was spent for cutting grass and not over 200 million naira. For it also to say that contracts were not given indiscriminately, but they simply do the necessary thing.
All right.
And it is so sweet to
Senator
see.
Sani, we have to take a break now. It looks like a good time to do that. But when we return, I'll allow you to speak more, as also we're still expecting the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Babachi Lawa, to respond to us. They said they will respond to some of these allegations and some of these issues on the program, and we will ask you specifically on some of the contradictory facts and figures that are coming out from the panel report. That's next. Join us again.